It is exactly 9 p.m. top of the hour, and you're just glad that you chose to join us tonight to inform you on the latest development across the country and beyond the borders. Key in focus is the 61st Madaraka Day celebration, the first of its kind in Bungoma at Masinde Muliro Stadium. And of course, matters that will be taking center stage, it's matters to do with agriculture, technology, and innovation. That is the key area of focus. Remember, our team has been up and down to bring you up to speed with the latest in the world of politics, business, sports, and this is what to expect.
Tonight, battle for Nairobi. Supporters of Governor Johnson Sakaja and James Gakuya clashed during UDA party election in Nairobi. Ready for Madaraka Day. Preparations for Madaraka Day celebrations done ahead of tomorrow's D-Day at Masinde Muliro Stadium. Also tonight, not today, Judicial Service Commission postpones interviews for Court of Appeal judges. Plus, love gone sour. A woman in Garissa charged over attempted murder of her co-wife in a suspected love triangle.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Auma Evans.
That's right, my name is Auma Evans, sitting in for Martin K. Mutegi. Remember, you can follow this broadcast on all of our social media platforms. We are coming to you live on KUTV YouTube at KUTVNEWS Live. You can tweet us on X at Auma Evans, at KUTV_Kenya. Remember to use the hashtag Primetime News. That is, Evans Odhiambo will be assisting us on our sign language interpretation department. Tonight, we begin here in Nairobi. The battle to control the heart and soul of UDA in Nairobi has thrown the party into division and chaos, with political heavyweight crossing for pivotal position. Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja supporters locked horns with supporters of Embakasi North Member of Parliament James Gakuya during UDA grassroots election in Nairobi. The two leaders are eyeing UDA chairmanship in Nairobi, and our political affairs reporter Munene Weru opens our bulletin tonight with that report.
It is now imminent that the fierce exchanges in the ruling party are being fueled by the ongoing elections in UDA, a situation feared to throw the party into irredeemable division. The Nairobi chairman post has attracted political heavyweights within the party, a heated contest ensuing between Governor Johnson Sakaja and Embakasi North MP James Gakuya. Gakuya is said to enjoy the support of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, a stance that Governor Sakaja frowns upon.
Unajua hawezi kuwa wewe unanyanyasa watu, you've bullied people for 2 years. Unatajwa wiki moja unalia. For 2 years. Unabuli kila mtu, hii county ndo huyo. Hii county ndo huyo. Unatajwa wiki moja unazama unalia. You know, bullies are the biggest cowards. Do you know that? Bullies are the maka unaenda sijui kwa msitu sijui wapi.
Sakaja's lamentations have, however, been met with fierce confrontation from the deputy president's camp.
Kwa sababu tukiendelea kukubaliana na watu wachache ambao wanataka kuleta fitina ndani ya serikali na kukosea heshima wa naibu wa rais, sisi tutaharibu chama hicho, na sisi hatutaki kwenda hiyo direction. So we want to call upon the UDA disciplinary back. Na nimuulize ndugu yangu, kwa sababu Sakaja ni rafiki yangu, tulikuwa na yeye bunge. My brother, enda pole pole. Enda pole pole.
Even with the volatile turmoil around him, Gachagua has evaded the row, and today, while making stopovers in Nyandarua, the deputy president only called for unity in the party, and as it's his routine these days, he once again rallied for unity in the mountain.
Kama watu ya region hii tuungane wote, nikimuongoza nyuma ya rais wetu, tumsaidie, tuwe waaminifu kwake, tumuheshimu, ndio aweze kufaulu.
UDA's leadership has ridiculed leaders engaged in the mini wars. The party secretary general Cleophas Malala threatening disciplinary action to those jeopardizing the unity of the ruling party. Munene Weru, KUTV.
All right, thank you, Munene Weru, for that. Now, preparation for this year's Madaraka Day celebrations at Masinde Muliro Stadium in Bungoma are complete. And as Cynthia Auma explains, the county government of Bungoma is optimistic for a successful event, with President William Ruto expected to lead Kenyans in the 61st Madaraka Day celebrations.
In a press statement on the preparation of the 61st Madaraka Day celebrations, the government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura at Nyayo House earlier today noted the significance of the Madaraka Day celebrations as he highlighted the considerable growths achieved by the Kenyan economy.
Wakenya kutoka sehemu zote za Kenya, Wakenya kutoka kule pwani, wale wa kutoka Northeastern, wale wa kutoka Eastern, wale wa kutoka Central, wale wa kutoka bonde la Ufa, hawa wa Nyanza majirani wenu, wote tutakuwa hapa kesho katika Bungoma.
Mwaura further stated that the government is putting more effort to boost tourism and cultural heritage sites in Western region, saying that the government celebrations in Bungoma will not only be a benefit to the county but also to the country at large.
This year's theme of agriculture and food security aligns with our commitment to showcasing the Western region's economic potential, whose backbone is majorly agriculture. The government has implemented several strategic interventions to support these economic activities. Efforts to revive the sugar industry include leasing public sugar mills, providing subsidized fertilizers, and supporting legislative measures like the Sugar Bill number 34 of 2022.
The government is also committed to enhancing infrastructure and social services in the region, stating that the ongoing project, especially in education, shows the government's commitment in bettering the education sector.
The government is well ahead in putting resources to give a boost to the Western tourism circuit. Significant cultural heritages like the Kakapel National Monument and the Crying Stone, Ikongamurwe, that's what it's called, of Ilesi, are being promoted to attract more tourists.
Kenyans are, however, expected to show up at the celebrations despite the hard economy that would be an excuse for them not to turn up. Ochieng Cynthia for KUTV News.
Now, the Judicial Service Commission has announced revised interviews dates for 41 candidates shortlisted for the prestigious position of the judges of the Court of Appeal. This is according to communication by the Judicial Service Commission, or if you prefer the acronym JCS. Initially, the interviews were expected to run from the 3rd to the 20th of June 2024. With the new dates, the interview will now take place from June 18th to 9th, 2024. Out of the 41 shortlisted candidates, 32 are currently serving judges and 9 are practicing lawyers. This recruitment drive is part of the JSC's broader initiative to enhance access to justice. Meanwhile, a normal operation have resumed at the Kisumu International Airport after Kenya Airways flight KQ370 encountered a bird strike, resulting in the aircraft getting stuck on the runway. Passengers on board were thrown into a brief moment of tension as plane failed to land and settle on the runway after 2 attempts. However, the aircraft landed safely and all passengers and crew on board evacuated to safety. And now switching gears to Kirinyaga County. The national and the Kirinyaga County government are now collaborating to relocate residents of Kianjanga in West Mwea to public lands to address recurrent floods. The Principal Secretary for Arid and Semi-Arid Lands and Regional Development, Harsama Kelo, announced this plan, emphasizing the government's commitment to providing a lasting solution in future. Cynthia Auma now reports.
Following heavy rains causing floods in Mwea West Kirinyaga County, the Principal Secretary for Arid and Semi-Arid Lands and Regional Development, Harsama Kelo, is now working with the Governor Anne Waiguru to identify new public lands where internally displaced persons from the county will be relocated. While overseeing the distribution of government aid to the affected, Kelo stated that the government plans to provide the affected with alternative farms in order to sustain their livelihoods. He also mentioned that a total of 116 families were affected, but a larger number needed food assistance as some families hosted the displaced families. Therefore, they too had to be provided with food.
Serikali yetu inafanya mpango ya kusuluhisha hii, kuleta permanent solution. Tutaongea na governor wetu wa hapa, Mama Anne Waiguru, ni mama mshupavu, mimi najua. Tutaongea na yeye, tutafute njia. Kama kuna shamba ya serikali pahali, watu watafutiwe, wahamishwe, wakae mzuri.
Member of County Assembly Kianjanga Ward, Thomas Muriuki, had urged the government to provide a permanent solution to the flooding disaster that had been affecting the area. One of the solutions he requested is the construction of a trench to channel excess water from the area to Romodhambi River.
Ile maombi ambayo tuko nayo, tunataka a lasting solution. Kinetegua ati vile like hakuna siku tutakuja hapa tena kusaidia watu kwa sababu ya mvua. Tunataka tusaidiwe kama ni venye hiyo maji tunaweza saidiwa by the national government, tutafutiwa trench ambayo itasaidia hiyo maji iende hadi mto Romodhambi, tunaweza furahia.
And as the government continues with the process of closing camps housing internally displaced persons, the affected individuals remain hopeful of finding new homes. Ochieng Cynthia for KUTV News.
Break here on KUTV Primetime News. Remember, plenty more to follow after the break.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
People pass vuguvugu. People pass ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground. Every Thursday and Saturday at 9 p.m. only on KUTV.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Auma Evans.
Welcome back. Now matters justice. Garissa Court has charged Rose Kawiru Montinjira and her accomplice Josephine Wanja with attempted murder of Joy Kawera, the second wife of Mtanjira's husband Amos Mdaura. The incident, rooted in a suspected love triangle, occurred on the May 29th at around 9 p.m. in Madogo, Tana River County. According to the charge sheet, the altercation started after Mdaiga married a second wife in 2018. Mtanjira's married to Mdaura since 2014. Allegedly expressed her discontent through threats aimed at Kawira, escalating the situation to a criminal level. Both defendants deny the charges leveled against them.
Each of the accused can be released on a personal bond of 100,000 for a surety of a similar amount, with an alternative of a cash bail of 70,000. Hearing on 9th of August. Retrial on 18th of June. A copy of the charge sheet and witness statements to issue to each of the accused persons.
Now, switching gears across the border, former United States of America President Donald Trump has been found guilty on all 34 counts in his criminal hush money trial. He is set to be sentenced on July 11th and becomes the first U.S. president to be convicted of a crime months before an election that could see him yet again return to the White House. Among the charges were reimbursement paid to Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen to buy for the silence of adult film actor Stormy Daniels in exchange for not going public with her claim about 206 sexual encounter with Trump. Now in Kilifi, Malindi residents took to the street to peacefully demonstrate in support of the ban on Muguka in Kilifi, as Ivy Masharia now reports.
Malindi residents took to the streets to peacefully demonstrate in support of the ban on Muguka done by Kilifi Governor Gideon Mongaru. After the demonstration, a security meeting was held in town where they were addressed by local leaders, among them being Kilifi County Assembly Speaker Teddy Mwambire. Mwambire Stanley warned against the reintroduction of Muguka in the area, adding that there were few officers in Kilifi County and encouraged the public to take up their responsibility of being their own protective service. He finished off by saying that these measures were taken for the public's best interest.
Sisi kile tunataka msaidie askari wetu. Askari wetu wa gatuzi ya Kilifi ni wachache na hawezi kutembea kila mahali. Kwa hivyo wewe mwenyewe kuwa askari.
Malindi Town Ward Representative Rashid Odhiambo brought up the fact that there were many county police officers that could patrol the area in collaboration with members of the public to bring a sense of safety.
Kiwa watakuwa deployed, washirikiane na polisi, wawe wakifanya patrol, kwa sababu ninajua kuna magari ambao ni ya county ambao yanasimamia mambo ya inspectorate. wawe wakizunguka na askari wetu sofa, kwa sababu askari wanasema magari hayatoshi na sisi county tuko nayo. Kama tutashirikiana na wao wazunguke katika mitaa na vijana wetu 2-3 katika kila ule mitaa ili kuweza kusaidia.
Nominated member of County Assembly Betty Kache brought to light the drug epidemic that affects the youth, which subsequently led to the fight for the ban of mogoka. She also advised parents to instill good morals in their children to avoid pointing accusatory fingers at leaders.
Tutaelekea vidole kwa viongozi, machief, assistant chief, lakini familia zetu ndo chanzo ya kila kitu. Kwa hivyo tukiweza kukubaliana kuwa sisi ndo tuko na shida, naona hao mambo hayatakuwa yanaleta shida tena. Tutaweza kuongea kama sauti moja wakazi wa Malindi.
Kilifi residents were urged to stay alert as mogoka peddlers had discovered new routes to transport their loot. James Baraka, KUTV News.
Now that story was produced by Ivy Masharia and voiced by James Baraka. Now let's talk matters health. The Ministry of Health, through the ministry's Senior Programs Officer in the Division of Reproductive and Maternal Health, Mr. Martin Buru, is developing advocacy messages targeting youths in Mombasa, Siaya, Garissa and Nairobi to improve access to sexual and reproductive health services. Dungo Pauline reports.
Martin Mboro, the Ministry of Health Seniors Program Officer in the Division of Reproductive and Maternal Health, has said that they are pretesting the key messages that seek to address key issues of sexual reproductive health. He added that young people contribute to almost 50% of HIV infections and teenage pregnancies, standing at 21% in Siaya County.
The purpose of us being here in this county, we are pretesting the key messages that are targeted to young people and the community at large.
According to Mboro, the ministry started to develop the messages early last year and are currently pretesting them in Siaya, Mombasa, Garissa, and Nairobi counties before they can be rolled out countrywide.
We started to develop these messages early 2023, that is around March, and we are targeting to pre-test in the 4 counties before we roll it out to the entire nation. That is Siaya County is the first one, then we'll move to Mombasa, go to Garissa, and eventually in Nairobi.
In a battle to curb the triple threat effect, that is sexual gender-based violence, HIV/AIDS, and teenager pregnancies, Gladys Kio, the Executive Director of African Gender and Media Initiative Trust, said that there is need to create awareness and a need to enhance a better communication.
One of the things that you might be aware of is that we have what is being called now the triple threat: HIV, GBV, and teen pregnancy. And actually it is now going to triple threat plus, because there's also that those 3 issues are also coming with their own challenges with regard to mental health.
Additionally, Mrs. Lona Nyandat, the Executive Director of a women's rights organization, Nyime Empowerment CBO, observed that the health-seeking behavior of young women has not been good, especially in Siaya County.
So we have noticed a gap where the health-seeking behavior of young women has not been very promising, and especially in Siaya County.
The messages are developed by the young people and duty bearers and is being targeted to policymakers, parents, and the youth cohorts. Ndongo Pauline, KUTV.
Break here on KUTV Primetime News. Remember, we have plenty more in store for you, and of course we're still tracking the South Africa election, and all this is getting after this second and very short break.
Access to knowledge. Solution to unanswered questions.
possessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Where we ask the coolest questions in science. Let's go! Is yogurt really just rotten milk? Why do humans need sharks to survive? How did a 12-year-old boy from Africa invent modern vanilla farming? How do you deliver medicine to a chimpanzee? Can poop be useful? How can you save the planet by reducing air pollution? To help us answer these questions, we are inviting some wonderful guests from the world of science. They will enlighten you, make you hungry for knowledge, oxygenate your brain, and make your ideas flow. This is Engine Season 3. Let's go!
Tunachimba hadi mizizi kuletea yanayojiri.
So mimi naomba tu serikali yetu ya Mungu ibarikiwe na Mungu iweze kuteremsha bei ya mafuta
yanayokukumba. Tuna maizi, tunakutetea sisiri. Kwa kweli ni speciali tukikupambia makala ya mwanamke mwake. Utasema hupendi mizizi ya habari. Nami Caroline.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Auma Evans.
Welcome back, and we're glad you chose to stay with us. Now, in South Africa, more than 50% of the total cast votes have been tallied so far, with citizens expected to receive the official results this Sunday. KUTV's Emma Mwangi dissects a high-stakes South African national elections, and here is her report.
The presidential race is heating up in South Africa as the African National Congress ANC party, led by President Cyril Ramaphosa, takes an early lead with 42.7% of the votes counted so far. The Democratic Alliance party, led by John Steenhuisen, follows with 23.68%. With the ANC continuing to lead in the overall counted votes, it might need to form a coalition with another party to form a government if it does not achieve a 50% victory in all 9 provinces. Meanwhile, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is leading the African Union Election Observation Mission in this election, praised the people of South Africa for their patience despite the delays in ballot boxes reaching some polling stations, urging them to continue having faith in the country's Electoral Commission.
We have noted and are pleased to state that the cases have been dispensed with expeditiously, and even though the outcomes were received with mixed feelings, they did not generate any disruptive reactions. And there are heightened expectations for accountability from all stakeholders.
One of the IEC officials assured the citizens of South Africa that the Commission is committed to conduct free, fair, and equal elections. He urged the people of South Africa to maintain peace, law, and order during the exercise.
And every voter will be assisted to vote before voting stations close.
The voting process in South Africa began last Friday, and the nation's citizens are now expecting to know the president who will lead them for the next 5 years. Emma Mwangi, KUTV.
All right, from South Africa to United States. US Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump is guilty of falsifying financial records to hide payment to an adult film star to influence the outcome of the 2016 election. Tina Trin reports from New York.
Guilty on all 34 counts. That's what a unanimous New York jury decided after less than 2 days of deliberation, that Donald Trump, the first U.S. president tried in a criminal court, falsified business records to suppress potentially damaging information ahead of his 2016 election. After hearing the verdict, the presumed 2024 Republican presidential candidate left the courthouse, saying voters will decide his fate on Election Day.
This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
But those voters may not include Trump himself, says University of Virginia professor Barbara Perry.
It would be the case that if he maintains his residency in Florida, a state where convicted felons are not allowed to vote, that he literally would not be allowed to vote for himself.
President Joe Biden's re-election campaign released a statement saying, "In New York today, we saw that no one is above the law." Former federal prosecutor and New York Law School professor Steve Cohen was not surprised by the verdict.
The legal reality is either you believe in the jury system or you don't. And I happen to believe in the jury system. The case was tried. It was tried carefully, at times almost meticulously. It doesn't mean there won't be issues on appeal. There always are issues on appeal. It doesn't mean that there won't be surprises to come.
22 witnesses testified in the 6-week trial, including a tabloid newspaper editor who described suppressing stories critical of Trump. Adult film star Stormy Daniels, who said she was paid to keep quiet about a sexual encounter with Trump that he denies. And former Trump attorney Michael Cohen, who said he made those payments to Daniels on Trump's behalf. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg said the jury made its decision based on the evidence in the law.
While this defendant may be unlike any other in American history, we arrived at this trial and ultimately today at this verdict in the same manner as every other case that comes through the courtroom doors, by following the facts and the law and doing so without fear or favor.
Trump's sentencing is scheduled for July 11th. That's just days before the Republican Party is expected to formally nominate him as their presidential candidate at the party convention in the Midwest state of Wisconsin. Tina Trin, VOA News, New York.
Now it's time for sporty action. The Rugby Africa Cup quarterfinals are set to take place at the Mandela National Stadium in Nambole in Kampala, Uganda. The matches will kick off on Saturday, July 20th, 2024, where the Kenya Simbas set to face Senegal in the second quarter-final at noon. In the first quarter-finals, Namibia will face Burkina Faso, Algeria will take on Ivory Coast, and Zimbabwe will battle it out for glory against the host nation Uganda. The winner of the match between Kenya and Simba and Senegal will secure a ticket to the semi-finals, where they will play the winner of the match between Algeria and Ivory Coast on Wednesday, July 24th. The final day of the tournament will take place on Sunday, July 28th at the same venue. Now from rugby to football. Enzo Maresca is set to succeed Mauricio Pochettino as the new Chelsea head coach. The 44-year-old Italian will leave Leicester City after leading them back to the English Premier League by winning the championship. Mauricio Pochettino departed Stamford Bridge by mutual consent after leading the Blues to the 6th position in the English Premier League. Now it's a wrap. Many thanks for the men and women behind that scene and for all those who made this production a success. My name is Auma Evans Okelo, or rather Evans Odhiambo has been our sign language interpreter tonight. Until next time, Do have a lovely night, and God bless us all.
Kaunti maarufu kwa kuzalisha maziwa na ukuzaji wa majani chai. Pia, serikali ya kaunti inawahimiza wakulima kukumbatia mitindo mingine ya kilimo kuzidisha mapato.